So guys, welcome back to another video of Total War Warhammer 2, the modded series Spotlight, and today we're going to jump into the Empire. So you're going to see them over here. They're only available to play in the Mortal Empires, so if you do play them in the Eye of War decks using the Unlocker, you're going to have a bit of a rough time. So we're going to pick Volkmar the Grim. Both him and Emperor Karl are very easy. You can get quite a good start and you can really make some money very quickly doing trades. Balthazar, he's a bit of a rebel. He's in the mountains. He's in the middle of nowhere, so that's why it's just normal start. So we're going to get stuck right into them, and also we'll show you the mods because we've got 70 mods, which is the largest mod pack that we're playing with. So we'll go into a little bit of spotlight into what that is. So I figured I'm going to start doing this at the front of the videos. So if you guys do like this, give me a yell and let me know. But I'm just going to go a little bit through the mods. You know, what sort of mods we're looking at that gives more immersion, more unit tallies, you know, a bit more oomph. So you're not feeling like you just have to blandly go through turn 70. This is going to give you a lot more. So you'll notice it has all my mods in here, which I think I've got about 160. So there's for various teams, and 65 is currently the highest amount we have per team. So 65 is the highest mod count we have so far to date for a team. It's a bit more in depth, so we've got Zorbas. I've changed it out from Trebor's Garrison Pack. So you can see Trebor's is here. I just use this one, and you cannot use them both. Just remember, your game will crash. Believe me, you spend a couple of hours trying to figure out why. I'm saving you the effort. You can only have one garrison mod so far. We have the higher starting tiers. Just makes it a bit more easy to get a start out. I've left no degradation summons just to make the Skaven a bit harder. Because generally towards the late game it's not a challenge anymore, so this is going to keep that challenge going. We've also got the legendary lords, and let me find this one, this charming portholes. If you're finding your screen is a bit clunky and you some of your overlays are going on top of each other, this will actually fix it. It'll give you more room, it'll make sure you can see everything on your screen. And there is one for your units as well that makes your units list looks a bit better. We've got the Army of the Empire pack, so this is going to give you a bit more units, round out the team a bit better. So we've got gun units like the dwarfs, you know, we've got a bit more cavalry, we've got different type of gunners, so you can see there's quite a number of gun units sitting here in the middle, 2 extra cavalry. You know, so it's going quite alright. We've got the currencies mod. It just makes it a bit more immersive because you don't want every single team just having gold. Now the Skaven will have gems. The Empire has Ecru. You've got the Bretonians which have gold. You've got the Orcs which use scrap. So there's all sorts of different names. It's still the same thing, gold, but they at least change the name of it a bit. We go towards the where's that one? Faster end turn camera. So it makes everything a little bit faster, speeds it up, so you don't have to just drag your soul for 5 hours to actually get somewhere. This will at least make it about 2 hours. We've got the Guns of the Empire pack. So what this does, it adds a variety of units, which is very gun related. So this includes cavalry, men, siege weapons, to make it a bit more balanced. And later on it can make it OP, but they have squad caps, so you can't put a doom stack of just gun units. So that's quite good. I've played quite a couple of campaigns with it. Really gives a good bonus against armor, which was quite nice. We've got the usual suspects of Jadwin, so AI tweaks, diplomacy rebalanced, you know, the diplomacy, and let me just remove that little bugger. It's not going to really affect us because we don't have dwarfs. we have the decline diplomacy. Now this is a good one because once you press this button and then you press your turn skip if you want it, you do not get diplomacy. It will pop up still, but it will cancel until your turn finishes. So you don't have to worry about pressing your turn end, go make a coffee, go have dinner, you come back and you're still waiting for a stupid diplomacy. So that's going to remove that for you. We've got the configuration tool reborn, so it's still in its infant stages, but it still works, which is good. I have put the reasonable trade, which is new, and this is going to make trading a bit more viable. So you'll notice in my previous campaigns all I did was attack everyone, because trading you lose money, and the point is why trade when you can make war? With the Empire and the Bretonians, this is going to be a little bit better. It's going to make trading worthwhile. We've got the electoral machinations expanded mod. So this allows you to use your prestige, which is the Empire resource, to embetter yourself. If you want to declare war, improve fealty, maybe you want to force a trade agreement, well, now you can. So I've got the high resolution UI improvements. So this makes all your things a little bit better, look a bit better. Particularly for you guys who are playing on ultra settings, this is a good one. And I've got Altdorf Imperial Zoo mod. So we're going to go through this in a bit of detail as we play along, and I'll show you all these really nifty things, which is, it really gives it a bit of depth. Now remember, when you're pressing your mods, you've got to click File Name and Sort, so that all the exclamation points on the top. Otherwise your game's going to crash. If you don't sort it from the top to bottom, if you sort it from any other column, it will complain to you, but it will allow you to launch, and when nothing works, it warned you. So let's get stuck into the Empire. So the Empire plays a little bit differently, as you'll see. They have authority and prestige, which is pretty basic. We'll go through a bit of detail in that. They do have elector counts, which, if you're not going for diplomacy, don't worry about it. But if you are doing diplomacy and trading, then we'll go into a little bit of what that is. So essentially, you start off surrounded by the Empire, which is not a bad thing. We've got the Empire separatists, which we're going to attack first off. We do have a lot of missions that's going to come up, which are going to give us prestige. And the only thing I can tell you, within turn 20, you're going to get quite a number of options where you have to donate gold or donate 1000 prestige to avoid wars or to help your allies. Always make sure you've got 3000 treasury, so in this case crowns, in your piggy bank, and make sure you get some prestige. Attack people, do defenses. This is going to give you prestige. Make sure you've got 1000 prestige handy and at least 3000 gold. So we're going to come back at turn 20 and I'll explain some things for you guys. So we had quite a little bit happen in these 20 turns. We had these guys over here, Visenland. They tried to commit suicide. They tried to break away. So we've actually spent about 4000 prestige already, and I've given away 9000 gold already as well, just in terms of doing defenses, helping people out with things, and then stopping people declaring war against each other. So this is why I said you got to keep a bit of money spare. So that's why I try not to go below 2500. So another thing you'll notice, we had turn 23, we've got 2 heroes already, and we are still sitting at positive 3000 because we're making a lot of money. You'll notice these buildings are making 500 apiece. I'm getting some more of them happening. Our trade deals are making us quite a couple of pennies, along with having income from trade tariffs that actually boosts our income further. So it's been quite good for us. Now I'm going to show you this Imperial Zoo thing. This is the Altdorf Zoo mod. So you'll notice everything's empty. There's a whole heap of things, and it just gives public order. Now, there's different things from other monstrous creatures, from the Badlands, from all sorts of shops. And there's 3 slots with a 4th one here. Now what this does, if I were to attack the Skaven, and let's say I got, where is it, like a Bretonnian warhorse and a Pegasus. So if I attack Bretonia, I could drag it in, and then when I say set up exhibits, I'll get +1 or +2 public order. So it's quite a good method if you've got low public order floating around due to corruption. This is a good way of doing it. So that's one thing from the Alt of Zoo. So there's also the little icon here. Now if you upgrade your zoo, you do get more bonuses, but I haven't got that far in it, so we'll explore that together as we go along. So with the Empire, you get Imperial Authority. Now what this does, when it's above 1, you get all these bonuses. So the main thing is to have just above 1. Later on, you can drop your Imperial Authority, but then you can gain prestige, you can gain money, but then you lose authority. So you want to keep a good stack of this, 2 or 3 at least minimum, and you never want to get to -2, because all of a sudden you're going to have negative growth, negative leadership, negative taxes, and people are going to start declaring war on you if you hit to -10. So it's just a case of keep up the good work in keeping your allies safe, so you can spend money and help them defend against people and get some good rewards that way. Along with that, it gives you the items. So it's a quite good way of getting things. Along with, you can get heroes for doing it. So I've had quite a number of missions. So we did the Jade Griffin, and I'm playing with a mod that takes it away from going this way to the orcs, and it takes them towards the vampires. So that's the only difference. Same thing, just a different team. So putting it to the vampires makes it a lot easier for us. Now I did get quite a bit of missions that gave us supply lines, raise the banners, greenskin conflict. So there was quite a number of things happening in the first 20 turns. And one of the things we were doing is re-upgrading our army. So when I initially started, all my units were rank 1 or 2. Like you see these guys here, they're rank 3. But when I go in now, all my units are rank 4. And if I do the edict, then I can get them all the way up to rank 7. So I simply deleted the units, rebuilt them, and we get monstrous bonuses for flagellants because of this hero. He is a flagellant king. So you want to make sure you flood your army with these guys. They are very good. Don't get me wrong, they don't say defense against large, but they really hold their own. And we are playing with a mod where we can upgrade our people. So we can upgrade them to swordsmen, spearmen, flagellants, or handgunners. Now I normally don't do this simply because these guys are close quarters infantry. They've got ammunition, and then as soon as you upgrade them to anything else but handgunners, you lose out. And so we've got these guys, but we don't want them to be the only one. Now these guys are pretty ridiculous with their armor piercing missiles, and we can upgrade them later to have more ammunition. Now I left the Reichsguard out so I can show you this. These are shock cavalry that are really, really awesome. But I can upgrade them to Demigryph Knights. Now I cannot build these. I cannot build them just yet. So by doing it this way, you are actually unlocking endgame tier units before we actually allowed to build them. But they just have to have the rank. So this is where, if you're going to upskill your army, do your edicts, get them as high as possible, and then you can cheat the system and get Demigryph Halberd Knights. So there they sit. So they do take a bit of damage, which, don't worry, it is worth it. And we will get just normal ones. So now I have endgame monstrous shock cavalry already. How cool is that? So it does work with quite a number of units. I've got the mods on there for them, but you just got to get them to the correct rank. Um, so this war wagon is pretty ridiculous. So it's armor piercing, anti-infantry. It is the bee's knees. So you want to make sure you get yourself a good roster of units. And I did lose two of my heroes. So I think I've got one coming back. He should be floating around here somewhere. Where'd he go? Oh, okay, maybe I lost him as well. Dang. So we can rebuild them. Not an issue, but you just got to make sure you unlock the things, and then you can get them. So again, I was quite lucky. My guys had things like buffs all the units in the army with speed and then construction costs. But you know, losing them, I'll just get them back. So it's not too much of an issue. What's another thing we can have a look at for you? Be careful of the Skaven, guys. I've got an Undercity, and if for you guys that don't know how to get rid of an Undercity, we will explore that together. Actually, I forgot how to do that. Here it is. So you click this, and you need 3,000 to destroy it. So you can see he adds corruption, he adds income off my place. It's just you got to get rid of him as soon as possible. So the next turn we'll get this sorted. So not too much of an issue. We are in a very good position. We've got a very strong army. So it's nothing too particular for us. So we're going to come back in a couple of turns, and as key events happen, I will splice them in for you guys to have a look at. So we'll see you at turn 40. So it seems like we got to the stage where we can go bump around quite easily. I have taken over quite a number of provinces, as I'm going to show you guys, because I finally, after about 25 turns roaming around killing the orcs left, right and center, I got my guys home. They're all max level, except for this one. I lost one stack of flagellants, so I replaced him with a regiment of renowned. But you can see here we've got our Demigryph Knights, which are ridiculous. These guys do 200-300 kills by themselves. They are ridiculous. We finally got ourselves a steam tank, and as you can see by the missile and weapon strength, it's going to be ridiculous. So we're looking forward to that, because our hero is fully maxed out with all the goodies you can imagine. So he does it right for himself. I did go down this way. We had a confederation with the Golden Order, so they gave me Soland along with Fort Song, and I've started taking over the vampires, only because that's part of the Jade Griffin. So as you can see, because I've got the Jade Griffin mod, instead of going west, it's sending me east, so we don't have to attack our allies. So I'm finding it a lot easier. So all I've got to do is move over there, kill everything along the way, which is pretty good. I mean, this guy took on 5 armies in a row, which left me here. So I think I've done alright for myself. Seeing as my Empire Knights, if I can get them back home, I can make really, really nice knights. As you can see, look at that list of upgrades. That's crazy. So this is the expanded UI high resolution mod. So if you don't have that, it's going to look a whole lot worse. So just keep that in mind. We've moved over here. I got this province as well, and I've just put my, thank you, I'll put some more walls on there. So you can see for my garrison, there's an amount of greatswords here that is borderlining the obscene, along with my priests, my witch hunter, my empire captain, my gunners. So we've had a couple of people try and take it. They lose, so we don't have to worry about it. So this is Zorba's mod. So it does give maintenance cost, and it is a bit more dearly to build, but it definitely works a lot better. So we're going to keep going for a couple more turns, and then I might just focus on the end game units. So we'll have a look. I'll get another commander and I'll show you some of these units here that cost 600, with ridiculous upkeeps, keeping in mind I have minus reduction on recruitment costs all over the shop. So they might have been 1,000, but I get them for 500 apiece. So we'll revisit this at turn 70, which is usually the magic number, and we'll see where we ended up. So just quickly, I wanted to show you upgrades. We are playing with a mod where you can upgrade your units. So for example, my Führer Schützen, these guys are quite good, but you notice they got low ammo. They've only got 14 bullets. We can go in here, and using prestige, we can give them extra ammo. So for example, this one takes it away, but boosts their missile strength. You can give them armor, or they can restore their own hit points, similar to what the vampires do. But again, it's fairly well balanced at 1,000 prestige. So I was hoping they would have had extra ammo. Dang. Let's see if these guys got it. There we go. Okay, so see, every unit is unique. So his range is 220. And if I give him this, it's now 260. So you can see all the bonuses work. It's very well done. So I'm just going to put on the other guy as well. And you'll notice my snipers, where are they floating at? So these are the snipers. Have a look at these guys. Their upkick is 400. That's the most expensive unit I have. Reload time reduction. Master armor. Yeah, you know what? We'll give a better loading. Whoops, that's not the one. So it's just a case of have a look through your units, and when you see something you like, for example the bayonets, you just go for it. So again, we've got 3,700. We're not worrying about anything because we've got our elector counts that we have put in.
Yes.
We are going to go take this guy's capital, and then we're simply going to keep moving up. So pretty easy. So this is a perfect example of where you'd need to keep your prestige. If you do not have enough prestige, you will declare war on someone. So you need to pick and choose. If you are looking for fealty, that's not a bad way to do it if you don't like the other team. But doing it this way gives you imperial authority. So we're going to go do it that way. And now there's no more war. So this is a good way if you want to keep your trade buddies happy. Just keep 1,000 prestige just in case. So we're going to redo our zoo. So we just double click in here. And let's have a look. So we might go here. We've got to put one of each thing, just remember that. So I don't think I can fix it. I need to get something from the lizard men, something from the high elves. Ah yeah, actually let's do the Bretonians next. That's not a bad one. And then that's the dark elves. So it's all just every time you set up exhibits, you upgrade it very slowly. So I'll keep an eye out. Maybe there's other bonuses on this. I haven't actually looked too hard. Yeah, look, let me tell you, I wasn't expecting to win that. We versed 1, 2, 3, and a settlement against our little couple of units. And our heroes didn't do too well, but my ice and bombers, 700, 650. My Blitz Schützen, 660, 680. That's ridiculous. My 892 men against his 5,000. And we won. Was not expecting that. So we got our first nice battle with the Skaven. This guy's put up a real fight because I've taken over the entire area. You'll notice he's got storm vermin. He's got gutter runners, he's got plague catapults. He's got a very nasty army. Okay, this is a serious Skaven army. And then look at my guys. I don't have anything special. I did upgrade my greatswords. And I lost. Oh, okay, I lost my greatswords. But we killed everyone. So it wasn't too bad. It was a good trade-off. 600, 640, 717. 400s, there's a 500. So I think they just ran out of morale. That could do it because of the plague catapults. But that was a good one. That was quite a good battle. So I think we've hit the end of the road. We on turn 81. You can see my money is crazy, and here's the scary part. I have 7 heroes. Um, I have 7 different army stacks floating around. You'll notice my trade is 12,640, and I'm just going to show you what happens if you do diplomacy right. So we just go to trade. Look at this. Look at this. This is what you want to see. If you're not attacking people, they have to be donating to the coffers. 700, 580. So this was a very different campaign because where we started is still pretty much untouched. As you can see, I've done absolutely nothing here because it's just not worth it. We make so much money from trade agreements. All I do is simply make more armies and I send them south and east. So we've already had the hordes come for the chaos, and we wiped them out. It was not. It wasn't even a challenge. So I'm a bit disappointed in that. And as you can see, we can just declare war with anyone pretty much. My army stacks is ridiculous. I have the ultimate steam tank, the upgraded version, on pretty much every army. So it's just a case of point and click. Point and click. Look at this. This thing killed 260. My units couldn't even get in time to go and actually do anything. So it was pretty goober. Most of my heroes are in the 20s to 30s. I took over this whole area, and I've left Wertbad and Averheim to the guys. I've went this whole area. I've taken this whole thing over, and I'll just try and find my main hero.
Who called?
Had a bit of casualties earlier. He's over here. So he's level 30. He's ridiculous. He's stupid powerful. I was upgrading my army because I lost quite a bit. The orcs put up a very good fight, and yeah, we're pretty much doing the skill dump. So it doesn't really matter anymore. I did choose the Altar of Sigmar. Yeah, look, you've got to play the battle yourself, and then that makes a difference. So the elector counts. Now, for those of you that don't know, when you take over a nation's capital, you can put your hero in. And for putting your hero in as a candidate, you get a unit. So once you put your hero in, he gets elector count of Wissenland, he gets bonuses, he gets a unique weapon, and you get a hero. So it's in your best interest, so long as your confederation's not broken, to try and get as many of these as possible, because you can get Swords of Ulrich, you can get this weapon that gives +5 order, and siege holdout time. So it's really worth your while to do this. Now, as for the zoo, I've been doing my homework on this. It's a bit more of public order. If you are struggling to keep your public order in check due to corruption or things like that, the zoo is the way to go. So, like for myself, I mean, I've got +28. Everything is being built everywhere. It's not really an issue. Only taxes is my thing. So the electoral machinations, I've not used it, only because I've expanded so rapidly and got so much money. It's not really a thing. This is, again, you use it to make trade routes, get force alliances, and even when you want to declare war on someone the nice way, you can use this. So again, for me, not so much. I mean, you can even do, if you didn't know, you can pick 2 different nations and increase their things, give them trade routes with each other. So that's a whole big thing. Now, I will show you my objectives. We have finished everything all the way until, I believe, it is Chapter 6, the bonus objectives. So I got a crazy amount of money quickly, so I had 12,000 gold, and then I went straight to 50,000 for reasons beyond. You'll notice my short campaign and long campaign, I haven't really focused on these, simply because it's not feasible. By turn 80, if you really wanted to focus on it, you're gonna have a hard time. So you can see I'm building another hero here. So let's get to the fun stuff. So let's have a look at this. I'll show you my records. So this very nice map. You can see initially we weren't doing a whole lot. Now every faction expanded except for us. We did a little bit. We took our province and we pretty much sat. We didn't do a whole lot. We didn't do a whole lot. All the way until I all of a sudden took over the next state, because he confederated with me. So I did have one confederation broken, so I had to use the actual console commands. So for example, if what's this guy? Ostland wanted to confederate, and once he finished confederating, it didn't do the transfer. You can press Y on your keyboard, and this is chat box, this is commands box. Now you'll notice when you press it, it just disappears. So what you want to do here, if you were missing something, you say give region, if I can spell, and voila, you get the region, you just don't get the army. So you can, if you want to be pretty overly fair about it, you can give yourself, I don't know, extra 2,000 gold and then simply build another one. But this is the way how you give yourself the confederated. So it was give region, and you can simply do that for all of these. You can click on it, you have to have it selected, and then give region, done. So this is the console commands mod. It is very, very powerful. You can cheat for anything you want, but again, what's the point of playing if you're going to cheat? I haven't had to cheat in forever since I actually started getting good at it. I still only cheat with the Skaven, so that's my only weakness, and I still lose. So as you can see, I've got 8 armies. We have trade partners with everyone under the sun. My records. So this is a little bit anticlimactic. I've had teams with more, but again, we've destroyed 95 factions. Oh, sorry, we've encountered 95 factions. That is a lot. We have really traversed the map. Even 15 factions being killed by us, not the computer, not the AI, that we've killed. So that's been quite good. Our income, I'm pretty positive this is the highest income I've had as well, which is quite good. So my trade income, you can see, is 268,000. 268,000. My income from taxes is 772,000 in 80 turns. That's a heck of a lot of money. So you can see the battles. We didn't do too many battles because again we focused on diplomacy. So all our stuff is a bit less except for our captives executed. I think I almost broke my record. My last one was 21,000. So because all the Skaven and Orcs have really high numbers of units, that was really where we got the bulk of our stuff. So for the Empire, when you start, my best recommendation if you want to be on turn 80 with 8 armies and more money than you can throw a stick at, trade. I will update my list with a reasonable trade mod. which as you get more states, you get more resources, which is fair. It's reasonable. That's why it's called the reasonable trade mod. So trade. Don't declare too much war on your left. You can trade with everyone. You can expand out and trade. I only took this over because it was the vampires, and I actually did have these, but I gave them away. I raised the settlement. I didn't take it over because I wanted to help my allies. So the only person I did decide to declare war with down this way was, what's this guy's name? Tolson, for Orion. He was pretty much just sitting in my territory, so I did it out of spite, really. But we actually haven't had a hard time. We did lose an army. You know, the orcs came in and they were savage, literally savage. But we never went below 0 imperial authority. We never ran into money problems. We've not had a quest that's actually failed as well. So this one might fail because I've just not bothered. I can recruit a lord now and you know, we'll just fix it up. So we'll just go here, say recruit, there, done. Now one thing that did get broken was this fella, Karl Franz. Every time you confederate, you were supposed to get him, but the confederation was broken. So I will investigate that a bit further to try and figure out what exactly broke it. But this brings us to the end of the campaign. We could keep going. It didn't take me too long to get here, only about 6 to 7 hours. It wasn't a multiple days recording. So it's fairly easy. We are winning. We are bumping around. This is the most armies we've had. This is the best armies we've had, just in terms of, you know, upgrading these guys to already getting, what is this called, elector count state troops. So, you know, it's been crazy. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I just wanted to quickly do a mod spotlight on Spell Browser. If you are doing the fights yourself and you decided, you know what, I want to see what exactly my spell is doing, this will show you. This will tell you it's an explosion. It'll tell you how far, and it will tell you how much damage. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm doing thousands of damage, it's crazy, it's ridiculous, this says it deals 16 magic damage to all entities. 16. So let's find one of my wizards. Law of Heaven. Chain Lightning. Where's Chain Lightning? There. So I thought this did a lot of damage. Turns out it only does 11. So again, this little mod tells you everything you need to know. So if you're thinking, ooh, do I go into this spell? Do I not? This will tell you. Launch one projectile, 870 damage and detonation damage. That's ridiculous. If you looked at this and you saw 11, you might not take Chain Lightning. So this, for those of you who are a bit more particular than I am, this is some good micromanagement stuff. So in saying that, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. By all means, you're welcome to go on my Patreon. You know, I have a setting for coffee, for pizza, and if you want to spoil me. So if you think my stuff is good, help me make more, and I'm happy to help you guys out. So I'm not too greedy. Everything's free, but as you'll see in the Patreon, you can have a chat to me. You can help me make the content. You can, you know, give some input into the content. So there's a little bit more personalization. But again, for YouTube, please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.